Really excited about the effort out of the locker room again and sustaining it through the first half. Just thought the defensive intensity was incredible. We finally did a really good job on their two key guys, which has been our focus. And started with Al on Cole, and then Zach coming in, I thought was a huge difference, especially defensively. And it's funny how when you guard your tail off and get stops, how that allows you to free your mind up offensively, and bangs a couple of shots. You know, we got to the rim. We got some nice baskets at the rim early, some putbacks, and I thought that combined with our defensive intensity carried us to the win. Now, we wish we would have carried it through the whole 40 minutes, but that's something we'll work on.
Trace, was this kind of that get-right effort you guys were looking for heading into conference play?
Yeah, obviously, you know, we feel like we lost some ones that we should have had in our last challenge before we get into a conference. You know, we want to go on a right note, create some momentum. And all week in practice, we've just been talking how we need to, you know, our identity needs to be created on the defensive end. And that creates easy offense, you know, a lot more relaxed. We getting out in transition, that's where we're our best. And so we can practice. We really made it the focal point to, you know, guard, pressure the ball. And I think that's what we did in the first half, as, you know, we got a big lead. And then the second half, I think we kind of just got complacent with that and went back to some old habits. But we'll learn from it.
And Zach, Coach just talked about kind of focusing on the defensive end, which will help you on the offense. Did you kind of feel that today?
Yeah, for sure. You know, every game we need to come out with that same defensive intensity, and you know, we can control, you know, how hard we play on D. You know, some nights shots won't be going in, but we know we play D, so we just got to hang our hat on that.
Coach, how important was it uplifting the intangibles to have Big G back?
It's huge. I mean, you hate to make the kid feel bad when he's out, but we're 5-1 with G. We were 2-3 without him. And yeah, there's some other things that maybe went into it, but we miss his presence, we miss his leadership, we miss his voice. You know, and you look at the stats, but it's just his presence. Trace said it last night when we were having dinner, and I think Mike Parker mentioned kind of the Daniel Gomez effect. Just, you know, that leader that talks, that gets guys that, you know, to their spots, that's in everybody's corner. I thought that was a huge boost to us, and we're obviously thrilled to have him back. And his role obviously will continue to expand from here as he continues to get into shape that he needs to.
Coach, that 31-2 run you had in the first half, was that the best stretch of defense that you've seen from the team in quite a while?
Yes, certainly for this year. We had some moments against Penn, which is a very good offensive team, that they're befuddled. But our intensity and our focus in getting the spots and really the purpose we were playing with is something that we thought this team would be capable of once we got everybody settled into how we do things. So it was encouraging, and now we got to try to challenge the guys to keep it up for 40 minutes, especially now that we're in league play.
And Wayne, it's just one game, but it had to feel good for you guys to see Stevie kind of get back on track a little bit.
For sure, yeah, it's good to see him, you know, see the ball go through the basket a little bit. And, you know, I got to give him credit defensively, too, on their second leading scorer, Krishnan. Stevie did a great job along with the other guys that guarded him. And that's something we've been telling guys that have been in a little bit of a funk, is put the focus on the defensive end, then it just naturally causes you to relax a little bit on the offensive end. And credit to Stevie for a good bounce back heading in the league.
And your thoughts on your three-point defense today?
Much better. 3 for 13, and it was like last week. Our big deal was to make Kent State beat us from 2, and we gave them 10 threes. It's happened a couple of other games. Now we can blame it on some young new guys there or not, but it really was a lack of urgency and intensity that we needed. And we talked to the guys about taking number 3 and number 1 out of the game today, and I thought the effort was there to do that. You know, Krishnan got a 3 early, and then that was pretty much it. So that's something our teams have done year after year after year after year. You look at the scouting report, who are their 2 guys, you cut their averages in half. And we haven't been doing that the last 4 or 5 games. So it was good to see.
Coach, there was a sequence in the game when the ball was being whipped around the infield baseball style. At the timeout, I could hear you upstairs saying, good ball movement. Was that some of the best you've seen this year?
Yes, and we said it at halftime, right? We called an early timeout in the second half to emphasize that. Get the ball moving. Now, it's easier said than done. You've got to, as a guy without the ball, you've got to cut to get open and have proper spacing. But when we move the ball and we cut hard, we're tough to guard. When we hold it, when we dribble it too much, that's when the whole defense can load, and that's where you get in trouble. And I thought our ball movement was pretty good. And I think our assist numbers would have been up if we, again, would have made some shots that we hope to normally make.